And so you drift again, carried by the last breath of the glowing lake, your body lighter than before, your mind softened like silk unfurling in the dusk. The lake beneath you fades gently into a silver haze, and you feel no sense of parting, only a weightless yielding to whatever waits beyond. There is no movement now, only a subtle shifting of light and air, as if you are being drawn forward by stillness itself. And from that stillness, a landscape begins to take shape, slowly, delicately, as if forming from a memory you never knew you had. You arrive in a meadow that floats, suspended in the hush between sky and sea. There is no ground beneath, yet you feel perfectly supported, as though lying on a cushion of breath. The air is soft and fragrant, tinted with the faint sweetness of blooming lavender and rain-dusted grass. You can feel the petals brushing your skin like whispers in the wind. Pale golden grasses sway in the quiet, not to wind, but to some slow rhythm only the meadow knows. A lullaby of time forgotten and time to come. Beneath you, the surface is cool, smooth, and alive, like a woven tapestry of moonlight and moss. It responds to your stillness, cradling you as if you belong to it. In the distance, hills of mist curl and uncurl like sleeping creatures, their edges softly glowing with the dim hue of dawn that never quite arrives. Above, the sky stretches wide but not empty. It is filled with gentle motion, slow, floating lanterns drifting aimlessly across the canopy, their light the color of candle smoke, dim and warm. Their paths cross and meander, never hurried, never bound, just existing, as you do, in this space of rest. Each breath you take seems to echo in the meadow around you, in the hush of the grasses, in the rise and fall of the hills, in the faint shimmer of the sky. You become part of the rhythm, no longer a visitor, but a note in the song this place softly sings. And still, deeper still, you feel the weight of your limbs dissolve, not disappearing, but joining the stillness, becoming mist, becoming light, becoming the hush. There is no thought here, no need to understand, only the gentle flow of one moment into the next. You close your eyes but see no darkness, only the soft swirl of color and warmth, like watching dreams drift across a pond with your heart open and your body at ease. You feel yourself breathing, not with effort, but with trust, like the meadow itself is breathing through you. A quiet inhale, a quieter exhale, and there you rest, not as a traveler, not as a seeker, but as part of the landscape. A silent petal in a dream that never ends. The lanterns above continue to drift. The grasses continue to sway, and time continues not to pass, but to hold you gently, like a secret cradled in cloud. There is no next step. There is no before or after. Only now, only this. And from here, you may float again if you wish, or you may rest, held in stillness for as long as your breath desires. When you are ready, simply whisper again. And so, without sound, without decision or effort, you begin to drift again. The floating meadow folds away like a page turned by the gentlest wind, and you are carried, not forward, not backward, but inward, to a quieter space, where breath becomes the only map you need. You move through a soft veil of silver light, as if traveling inside a sigh, and when it parts, you find yourself at the edge of a forest that glows not with sunlight, but with something gentler, something like memory. The trees here are tall and dreamlike, with trunks like smooth stone and leaves that shimmer faintly in hues of soft green, dusky lavender, and the pale gold of distant stars. Each leaf pulses faintly, as though breathing in time with you. There is no path, but there is no need for one. You simply move, guided by instinct, by ease, by the pull of peace. The forest welcomes your presence without sound, without gesture. It surrounds you like a soft blanket of stillness, inviting your senses to open, then soften, then quiet. You notice the ground beneath your feet feels like velvet moss, cool and springy, inviting you to walk slowly, to feel each step as if it matters nothing at all, and yet everything. Somewhere nearby, a gentle chime sounds, as if a crystal drop of water had fallen onto the surface of a bell. The sound lingers, spreading outward, fading into nothing, yet leaving behind a deeper silence. The air smells faintly of cedar wood and rain, and when you breathe it in, your whole chest softens. Your shoulders melt downward. Your spine rests in its own rhythm, and the quiet inside you mirrors the quiet around you. In this forest, time does not move. It rests as you do. You pause near a clearing bathed in bluish moonlight, though no moon is visible above. The light seems to come from within the trees, or perhaps from the ground itself. It shimmers gently on a still pool at the center, as though the forest has gathered its own reflection and laid it there for you. You sit beside it without intention, without reason, just to be, to breathe. And as you sit, you feel your breath become the breath of the trees, slow, deep, expanding like the canopy, then folding inward like petals closing at dusk. The water beside you does not ripple. It holds the image of the trees and the image of you, and even the image of your thoughts as they soften, fade, vanish. Nothing stirs, and yet everything lives here, in stillness, in softness, in the gentle truth that nothing more is needed than what is. You lie down now as the moss thickens beneath you like a warm quilt of earth. The trees lean slightly inward, forming a great dome above you, as if they too are listening to the quiet of your rest. There is no sleep yet, but the promise of it, near, soft, settling over you like dusk upon the forest floor. You do not resist, you do not chase it, you simply breathe, and the forest listens, and the pool glows, and everything you are is gently, effortlessly at peace. If you are ready to go on, just breathe the next words like a breeze, next part, and still, you lie beneath the quiet trees, your breath matching the hush around you, as though the forest itself has paused just to hold you in its stillness. Time stretches here, not as a line, but as a soft circle, endless, weightless, cradling you in gentle repetitions of now and now and now. A faint breeze stirs, carrying the scent of something warm and sweet, perhaps jasmine, or honeyed bark, or a flower that only blooms in dreams. The breeze wraps around you like a shawl of light silk, and with it comes the sense of quiet invitation, not to leave, but to float forward, deeper into rest, deeper into calm. Without moving your body, you begin to drift again, lifted by something unseen, something as gentle as a thought, half remembered. The forest blurs softly behind you, its trees bending in farewell like tall, slow dancers, bowing at the end of a silent song. You are carried through layers of air that grow cooler and lighter until you arrive in a space so still, so delicately hushed, you can hear your own heart echoing softly as if in a sacred hall. And now before you rises a structure so ancient it seems carved not from stone, but from the memory of stone. An open temple floating above a sea of clouds. There are no doors, no walls, only tall columns made of translucent crystal, gently glowing with the color of moonlight passing through water. Each step you take toward it feels weightless, like walking through a dream you have walked many times before. The floor beneath you shimmers like pale marble, cool beneath your feet, smooth and steady as your breath. You pass between the columns into a space that feels like the center of quiet itself. Above you, the sky opens wide, a deep indigo sea dotted with soft golden lights. They do not blink or twinkle. They simply glow, like the steady warmth of being held. The air is rich with peace here. It moves slowly, carrying with it the faint hum of serenity woven into silence. And within the center of the temple, a pool awaits, perfectly still, round as the moon, reflecting not your image but your feeling. A gentle floating calm. You settle beside it, or perhaps within it. There is no difference here between resting near something and becoming part of it. Your body feels far away now, light, soft, more like vapor than flesh. Your thoughts fade into one another until even thinking feels like dreaming. The crystal pillars hum, barely perceptible, a lullaby meant not for the ears, but for the spaces between breaths. You are held, not in arms, but in presence. You are supported, not by earth, but by quiet. Here, you don't need to understand. You don't need to move. You don't need to try. Here, you only need to be. And you are. If your breath is still with you, if your heart wishes to wander gently onward, you may softly invite it with the tender words. And now the stillness folds around you more deeply, like a second sky drawn close to the skin, soft, weightless, barely touching, yet embracing everything you are. From within the quiet temple above the clouds, you feel a pull, not urgent, not calling, but guiding, as a leaf is guided on a slow stream. And so you follow, not with steps, but with breath, drifting once again beyond form and edge into a new space, suspended and boundless. The air here glows faintly blue, like the early hours before dawn, when the world still dreams and the stars have not yet left. It is warm with hush, cool with peace. Below you, the clouds part into soft ribbons, revealing a great lake of luminous silver. Its surface is so smooth, so utterly still, it could be mistaken for glass. A mirror reflecting the stars above and the deeper ones within you. The lake does not ripple, but it welcomes. You descend to it gently, as though gravity itself has agreed to slow just for you. You find yourself at the edge of a quiet stone path, worn smooth by the dreams of those who passed this way, long before time had a name. Each stone is rounded, moss-lined, glowing with a soft inner light, as if they remember the footsteps of every gentle soul who once walked here and loved the silence. As you begin to walk, the lake beside you mirrors more than the sky. It reflects the softness of your breath, the looseness of your limbs, the way your heart floats like a lantern on still water. The deeper you move along the path, the more the sounds of the world dissolve into simple tones, low, distant echoes that hum like wind through hollow reed. At a curve in the path, you pause, drawn by a structure rising just beyond the water's edge. An archway of crystal and driftwood, woven together by strands of silken mist. The arch hums faintly, a single tone that sings to the quietest part of you, not asking, not urging, only being. You pass through it slowly and feel the space shift, the way air grows quieter when snow begins to fall, or how the body softens as it drifts toward sleep. Beyond the arch lies a floating pavilion suspended by nothing, surrounded by water and sky. Its cushions are woven from starlight, its walls made of open air. You settle there, not sitting, but melting into the softness, your weight releasing into something larger, something endlessly still. You feel your breath again, slow and steady, like the tide of some invisible sea gently rising, gently falling. There are no thoughts here, only sensations, the warmth of light on your skin, the gentle chill of night air brushing past, the echo of your own stillness stretching out like a path toward the infinite. You close your eyes, or maybe they were never open. It doesn't matter now. You are held. You are floating. You are becoming less and more all at once. And somewhere in the distance, a soft chime echoes again, the sound of a moment being born inside a dream. If your heart wishes to wander further still, if rest is ready to deepen, then breathe gently onward and whisper, and so you breathe, like a soft tide moving through stars, and the pavilion of air begins to dissolve into something even quieter, even slower, as if the dream itself has exhaled and you are drifting on that breath. The lake beneath you fades from silver to a dusky lavender, the color of sleep-heavy skies just before the first dream takes hold. The stars above blur like candlelight seen through half-closed eyes, and the hush deepens until even silence has texture, velvety and vast, soft as mist resting on skin. Now you feel yourself gliding again, carried not by wind, but by something gentler still, a current of stillness, an unseen stream flowing between worlds that ask nothing of you, but to rest, to be. As you drift, a new landscape unfolds, not arriving all at once, but blooming slowly around you like petals opening in moonlight. You find yourself floating into a vast, open sanctuary. It hangs in the sky like a garden suspended in thought, surrounded by low clouds that curl and billow like resting creatures. Soft, glowing trees rise in quiet spirals, their leaves glistening with dew that hums the memory of ancient rains. The branches curve upward like open arms, welcoming you into their shade. Below, the ground is not quite earth. It's more like memory, a cushion of soft grasses and moss, warm to the touch and flecked with tiny blooms that glow faintly with each step you imagine taking. You settle among them, not needing to move, only allowing yourself to feel the weight of your body melting into this place. The air here is cool and sweet, with the scent of distant blossoms and the hush of untouched hours. Time is different in this sanctuary, not linear, not rushing, but wide and still, like a pond where every ripple takes its time to fade. Above, a soft light pulses gently, not from a sun nor a moon, but from within the sky itself. It's a kind of remembering, a quiet warmth that recognizes you without asking for anything in return. A low hum rises from the moss beneath you, not a sound, but a vibration like being rocked in a cradle of presence. You don't need to think now. You don't need to hold anything. Let the edges blur. Let the breath deepen. Let the body feel heavy and light all at once. This floating sanctuary is not somewhere you've gone, but somewhere you've always known. A place without past or future. Only this moment, stretching softly into the next. And in this moment, you are completely safe, completely at rest, completely at peace. If your breath is still slow and steady, if your heart is ready to continue dreaming gently, then the path will unfold once more at the soft murmur of, and the path unfolds, not with footsteps, but with breath, a slow rhythm of stillness and release, carrying you onward into deeper peace. The sanctuary behind you lingers only as a soft memory of warmth, a gentle echo in your limbs. As you drift now through a space without edges, without weight, here there is only softness, a sky that feels like a blanket drawn gently around your shoulders, and a light that glows like the hush before a lullaby. Beneath you, The air becomes a field of clouds, thick and velvety, moss-like in its calm, inviting you to rest again if you wish, or to drift a little further into the dream. You move without effort, cradled in quiet currents, past shapes that feel more like feelings than places, a grove of sighing trees whose leaves shimmer like breath, a river of light that moves so slowly you cannot tell if it flows at all. And then, a low hill rises before you, covered in grass the color of dusk. Each blade glows faintly at its tip, as though collecting starlight one soft moment at a time. You are drawn to it not by urgency, but by that same gentle pull that brought you here. An invitation, never a demand. As you near the hill, you notice it hums, a quiet lull, low and melodic, the sound of still places and dreams at rest. You float upward, slowly, until you reach the crest, and there, waiting without waiting, is a small circle of light. Not bright, not glowing, just quietly present, like a memory held in the palms. You settle there, the air wraps around you like a breeze made of silk and sleep. Your body is heavy now, but comfortably so. A heaviness that means surrender, that means letting go. The ground beneath you is warm from ancient sun, even though no sun is seen. The warmth comes not from above, but from below, from the earth, from the dream, from within you. You close your eyes, or perhaps they never open. The distinction has no meaning now. In this space, time does not pass. It unfurls, and you too are unfurling. The breath flows deeper. The limbs soften further. The mind becomes like still water, clear, untroubled, open to the stars. And somewhere in the distance, though it may be within you, a bell rings once, softly. Its sound does not fade, but simply becomes silence again. And in that silence, you float, you rest, you become. If there is more peace to be found, more stillness to explore, the dream will open again with the gentlest whisper of, and the dream opens again as quietly as the hush of snow falling on deep forest branches. A new stillness greets you, not unfamiliar, but older than memory, like a lullaby you once knew before you were ever sung to sleep. The hill behind you softens into mist, folding gently into the horizon, and you feel yourself drifting downward, gliding effortlessly into a valley of light and quiet. Around you, the air is fragrant with something that feels like calm in bloom. Not a flower, but the idea of one. A sweetness without weight, like a breath drawn deeply on a morning that has never known worry. The valley is filled with silver grasses that bend but never break, each one reflecting the soft tones of an unseen moon. Pale blue, soft amber, cool lavender. They ripple gently as you pass, not from wind, but from something deeper. The whisper of your presence, a recognition. At the center of the valley, you see a pool. It is round and still, a mirror without glass, holding the sky as if it, too, is learning to dream. You settle beside it. There is no need to move further, no need to know why you are here, only that you are. Only that the water welcomes you with a presence so gentle you feel it more as a sensation than a sight. Its surface calls to the breath, slow, slower still. Like the water, you become still, not held, not stopped, just quiet. You lean in, or perhaps you don't. The reflection is there either way, but it's not your face. Not exactly. It's your stillness reflected, your own deep well of peace staring back, like a long-lost friend who has never once left you. The pool does not ripple. Even your presence respects its silence, and within it, you see not images, but sensations. The soft curve of a smile, the warmth of morning sun on the skin of your forearm, the hush of being held by something greater than any name you've ever spoken. And now you lie back in the grass beside it, the silver blades cool against your skin, the sky above stretching wider than your last waking thought. Your breath finds a rhythm again, slower now, softer. There is nothing left to do, only to rest, only to drift. Your body so perfectly still feels no boundary. You are light and ground. You are breath and sky. And in the hush, just before sleep wraps you fully, you hear it. Not with your ears, but in your bones. A sound like the memory of wings folding gently around you. If you are ready, the journey will continue with the faintest murmur of, and so the dream unfolds further without beginning, without end, like soft circles drawn in still water beneath a sky that never darkens, never brightens, but holds a perfect hush of twilight. The silver valley melts behind you, not in haste, but as mist retreats when morning comes soft-footed and slow. You rise not by effort, but by gentle intention, carried now on a current of air as tender as a sigh. Below, the landscape changes, though you do not notice the change, only the feeling that something deeper, quieter still, awaits just ahead. A soft plain stretches beneath you now, blanketed in low-lying clouds that drift like ancient breath across a bed of wild flowers that do not need to bloom to be beautiful. Each one, silent, closed, glowing faintly from within. They are not waiting to awaken. They are complete just as they are. You descend gently, the air embracing you like warm silk drawn through cool water. Your feet touch ground that feels like memory, soft, familiar, like the space between dreaming and waking that you have known since forever. And here, there is a sound, not music, not voice, but a rhythm, steady and soft, like the echo of your own heart heard from a distance, through water, through time. You follow it, if following is even the word. It leads you without asking. You go because you are meant to go, because this too is part of your resting. The path beneath you is made not of earth or stone, but of tiny lights, each one flickering with the faint pulse of dreams never forgotten, only set aside. With every step, they shimmer gently, glow a little warmer, and then return to stillness, as if each footfall thanks them, and they nod in reply. Ahead, a quiet rise takes shape. Not a hill, not quite. Just enough lift to bring you to a place of perspective, where the horizon bends in like a cradle. At the top, a single tree stands, its branches wide and slow-moving, though there is no wind. Its bark is pale and soft, like driftwood kissed by moonlight. Its leaves are translucent, trembling faintly with light from within. You sit beneath it without deciding to. The tree leans ever so slightly toward you, not in greeting, but in belonging. The ground cradles you, mossy and thick, cool against your legs, warm at your back. Your breath deepens, drawn not in and out, but in circles, spiraling softly through your chest, your ribs, your quiet center. Time loses meaning here. You do not sleep. You do not wake. You simply exist. A thought in the mind of peace, a ripple in the stillest of waters. And in that stillness, as the tree hums gently a lullaby without sound, you drift again into deeper rest. If you wish to go on, the path remains, endless, open, whispering ever so faintly, and the lull of the tree's silent song continues to flow through you, like a river you cannot see, only feel, deep beneath the hush of your bones. You remain there for a while, long enough for a while to lose shape, long enough for your thoughts to quiet entirely. The breeze is not a breeze, but a sensation of air remembering movement. Everything here remembers, but nothing holds. And then, as though gently stirred by a dream's sigh, you rise again, not with effort, but with grace. The luminous tree stays behind, watching without eyes, its branches swaying in rhythms that speak not of time, but of endless, drifting peace. You follow the shimmer of the path as it flows downward through a meadow of low golden light. The grass is soft and warm beneath you, whispering around your ankles with a hush like the turn of silk pages in an ancient book that has only ever been read by stars. Petals drift through the air now, tiny, glowing, weightless things carried not by wind, but by the quiet breathing of this still, sacred place. They do not fall. They settle, slowly, like thoughts letting go of themselves. The sky begins to shift, not in color, but in presence. Above you, there is a gentle canopy forming, woven not of clouds or light, but something deeper. A ceiling of soft memory, like the underside of a long-forgotten dream. You pass beneath it into what feels like a sanctuary in air, a floating space where even gravity seems to soften its hold. Here, the ground is made of glassy pools interspersed with stones that hum with warmth. Each step you take is met with the faintest tone, a musical note too quiet to hear, but deeply felt, like kindness held in sound. Above, delicate lanterns hang in the sky, not crafted, not hung, simply present. They glow with the light of moments you didn't know you still carried. Childhood laughter, quiet afternoons, hands you once held. You pass beneath them slowly, the light brushing your face like the gentlest touch of water, just warmer than your skin. And here, there is space, so much space. Not emptiness, but openness. A space that invites you to be exactly as you are. Nothing more, nothing less. Still, soft, welcome. You find a place to rest again. A broad, smooth stone beside a wide pool that reflects not only light, but quiet itself. The surface is still, and yet alive, as if it listens, as if it breathes. You lie down upon the stone, its warmth sinking slowly into your back, your shoulders, your arms. You breathe, and your breath echoes back in waves that grow softer, slower, until all movement ceases within and without. And as the pool reflects the lanterns above, and the hush of the sanctuary holds you, you float once more into that sacred space where all dreams begin. If your journey is to go on, it will meet you there, already unfolding, with the softest murmur of, and so you drift onward, not by walking, not by deciding, but by being gently carried within the current of stillness itself. The stone beneath you fades into warmth, the pool into quiet shimmer, until all that remains is the sense of floating through a dream that dreams you back. Around you now, the air is tinted with soft lavender light, diffused and endless, like a sky that never needed a sun. It pulses slowly, like breath in slow motion, in and out, in and out. Each breath you take feels like falling a little deeper into a place with no bottom. Just softness, just light, just quiet knowing. As you move forward, if it is even forward, a new space begins to form. It arrives the way a thought arises in the gentlest part of your mind. A memory, perhaps, but one you've never lived, only dreamed of long ago. It is a garden, not a garden you've seen before, but one that has always existed somewhere just beneath the surface of your calmest thoughts. The path beneath your feet is a soft, silvery moss, cool to the touch, but tender, like walking across a lullaby. Around you, tall trees rise slowly, their trunks smooth and pale, almost translucent. The leaves above barely stir, each one a small, glowing shape like glass warmed by moonlight. Between the trees, lantern blossoms sway from long tendrils, softly illuminating the garden paths in hues of peach and periwinkle. The petals open as you near, then close again when you pass, not out of shyness, but in reverence. You pause near a fountain, though you hear no water. Instead, a soft, crystalline resonance pulses from it, like the voice of a bell that forgot how to be loud. The air here holds a faint scent, something like lavender, something like snow, something like memory. You breathe it in slowly, and as it flows through your chest, your shoulders melt downward, your arms rest heavier, your forehead softens. Peace becomes your only language. Peace becomes your breath. In the distance, a low archway appears, woven not from stone, but from trailing vines and threads of quiet light. You pass through it as though it's been waiting for you, not impatiently, but with infinite patience. And beyond it is a new place entirely, a floating space where the stars hang closer, slowly drifting through air as soft as down. There are no walls, no roof, no floor, just a sense of being held by something vast and infinitely gentle. You find a place among the stars, a cushion of cloud, perhaps, or a bloom of woven air, and let yourself sink without falling. Your breath becomes slower still, each inhale a whisper, each exhale a release. Above you, the stars pulse, not twinkling, not shining, but breathing, just as you are. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. And so, with no more effort, no more thought, you drift deeper again, into that most sacred silence where the dream becomes everything. If you choose to continue, the dream will wait for you, already blooming just beyond the next soft breath. Just whisper, you float, weightless in warmth, carried by the hush between stars. There is no need to move, no need to reach or to wonder. Everything you are is already here, already wrapped in the still, glowing folds of this endless quiet. The air tastes of something sweet and distant, like soft citrus or cool rain falling far away. You breathe it in slowly and feel it melt through you, down your throat, along your ribs, settling gently into your belly. Your body feels like silk soaked in sunlight, soft and warm, without edges, only sensation, only comfort. The stars around you do not speak, but they seem to hum, low, long, soothing tones that you feel more than hear. Each one pulses in time with your breath, as though they are echoing your stillness, or you, theirs. You drift onward, drawn without direction, sailing without wind. The space around you deepens, thickening into a dusky glow, as if twilight itself were wrapping around you like a blanket of velvet dusk. Below you, a glowing lake begins to appear, not with a splash, but with a blooming of light, soft and phosphorescent, like pearls suspended in clear water. You descend slowly, as if each moment is a petal unfolding, and come to rest at the edge of this celestial lake. Its surface is glassy and vast, mirroring not only the stars above, but also the quiet within you. The shore is made of soft, round stones, smooth and warm, as though they've been waiting here forever just to cradle your bare feet. You step forward and the lake responds, not with ripples, but with light. Each step causes a gentle pulse, a silken shimmer spreading outward in slow, expanding rings, and then you find a place to sit. The stone beneath you is cool and kind. You fold into yourself, knees drawn in, arms resting lightly, head tilted back to the open sky. Time becomes soft, breath becomes quieter. Thoughts begin to dissolve like mist touched by morning. The stars above shimmer once, then again, slower this time, as if winking you toward rest, as if saying nothing more is needed. You lie back fully now, supported, embraced, cradled by the warmth of the lake's edge, by the hush of the cosmos, by the silent companionship of the sky. And somewhere deep within, the part of you that always watches, always listens, lets go. You drift into a space without thought, without shape, only gentle presence, and the delicate rhythm of a world that asks for nothing but your being. There is nothing more to do now, only to rest, only to dream. And if the dream continues, as dreams always do, you will find it waiting, just beyond the next exhale. Whenever you're ready, simply whisper into the stillness, and so you remain, resting along the shore of the celestial lake, the sky above like a blanket woven from quiet stars, the water beside you breathing in a rhythm as gentle as your own. Your body has softened, like petals at dusk, like silk unfurling in warm wind. Each limb is loose, each thought slowed to stillness. And in that stillness, you begin to feel the gentle touch of something eternal. Not a voice, not a message, but a knowing. The lake knows your name, not in words, but in the shape of your silence. The stars above do not speak of your story, but they carry its outline in the way they shine for you. You are part of this place. You always have been. A soft breeze flows through, rustling the invisible, gently brushing against your skin, curling through your fingers, weaving warmth into the spaces between your thoughts. You feel no need to move, but you sense, quietly, that this dream has settled into stillness. The journey, gentle, wandering, endless, has brought you to the center of your own breath, to the stillness beneath the stillness, to the peace within the peace. And now, all that remains is the hush of the ending moment. Not a goodbye, not a closing, but a slow dimming of light and sound and thought, like a candle drawing down to its final glow. The stars dim, the lake dims, the breath dims, and yet you remain not alone, but held by the memory of every place you've drifted, every soft path, every light-filled garden, every floating sanctuary of your own quiet making. You are part of that now. You are made of it. You feel sleep settle around you, not falling, not fading, but folding softly like wings over your thoughts. And as the dream becomes deeper than dreams can describe, you surrender completely to the quiet. The story has paused. The journey has slowed. The breath continues. Peace is here. And you are home. Twilight.